What up guys, JZNES here, going to show off my Sega Saturn set. Here we have just a brief overview, and I'm going to show these games all a little bit more in depth here in a moment. Yeah, there you go, my Sega Saturn. What up guys, JZNES here, back with another video talking about the Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn! So, this console is pretty cool, and it's pretty underrated, and I love it. And I'm actually in the process of going for a complete set with this. So I thought I'd just talk about it and show off my Saturn collection, as it were. So this here is my Sega Saturn that the first one that I got. Is the only one I have, but yeah, and I got this thing. I got this thing a few years ago for sure, and it was only $30. And I don't know how much Saturn can go for, but I think $30 is a good price on a Sega Saturn. I got it from a place called Disc Replay. It's where I get a lot of my gaming stuff from. They kick ass. They're around here. They're a Midwest thing. But yeah, this thing is awesome. And a bonus came with this little this thing here, and the guy who was selling it to me was like, well, you know, that could be one of a few things, and if it's the thing that I think it is, then it'll play imports and like give you extra RAM and do all this stuff, and it's like you know, it's like really good. But if it's the other thing, it's still good. It's just a memory card. But this is actually, usually it says like 4-in-1 here or something like that. It's a memory card, and it's got it gives you extra power and whatever, and you can play import games with this. So this thing right here was included. Just $30 for this, and like a controller and the cables and stuff. So, and then this alone goes for like $50 to $60 sometimes. That I haven't checked recently. Maybe it's like a $30. But this alone would have been worth the price of purchase. But all of this together is a great deal. So I was really excited about that. One of my better finds that I've had in quite a while. Oh yeah, and I remember my brother actually told me that they had a lot of like disc games, is what he said. I don't know what it had meant, but he said it looked good. You know, there was a lot of new stock and whatever, and to go over there, and I was super excited to do it, and ended up getting a Sega Saturn out of it. So that was awesome. And actually, the funny part is I left it there. I thought about it for a second. I'm like, $30? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good deal. I don't know what I would want to play on Saturn, and I left it there. But then I came back because I had to get it. I knew I had to have it. But now I'm a really big fan of the Saturn because I love this system. It's great, and it's introduced me to a lot of hidden gems, which we're going to talk about here in a bit. And I don't think I got any games with it when I got it. I don't remember. Maybe I got one of these or something, but no, I don't think I did. But just I've collected them over the time there at Disc Replay and just different ways online and stuff. So, but I've had some good scores in the wild, and I'll talk about those in a bit. But first, I want to talk about some accessories and like the controllers and stuff, and just kind of show those off. And I got this also at Disc Replay. It's a memory card plus for $3, which is a really good deal on this as well. I don't know why they were selling it for $3, but hey, I'll take a Saturn memory card for $3 for sure. Absolutely. They're not extremely common or anything, and that's a pretty nice one. So, hey, $3, I'll take it. And then we'll just go alphabetically, and I'll kind of tell the story, because I don't remember how I got them chronologically, so we'll go alphabetically then. 3D baseball. Now, the funny thing about this game is you're like, oh, it's just some baseball game. Like, why would you get that or whatever? Well, as you can see there, I got it for, you can't see there, but as you could maybe see there, I got it for $30 at one of the greatest game stores I've ever been to. I was flipping out when I was in there. They had like Tournament Fighters and all this other NES stuff. I got like 3 NES games because I only brought like $100 at the time. I was stupid. I should have brought so much more. But we had gone to Chicago, and the store is called People Play Games. We went to Chicago to go see the AVGN movie because he was there in Chicago, you know, Angry Video Game Nerd movie. And we're all huge fans of Angry Video Game Nerd. And it was great, and it was awesome. It's a great movie. Highly recommend it. And the atmosphere in that room was awesome when we saw it. So the trip was very worth it. Fond memories of that. But we went to a store called People Play Games. And this is one of the games I got there. It was 3D baseball. Now you'd say, why would you pick that up in particular though? Like, well, why $30? Like, that's a lot of money, right? Well, I'm a big fan of Adam Korlick, the guy who is also trying to do a Sega Saturn set, and he's doing Xbox and all these other sets, you know. But a big fan of his unboxing videos, and he was talking about this in one of his videos, and he's like, well, it's pretty uncommon, and you don't usually see it very much, and he was saying how he got his for like, I think 50 or 60 or something like that, and I'm like, well, this one's $30, so I mean, that's a pretty good deal. I should probably pick that up, because if it's so uncommon, I'm probably not going to see it again. So, yeah, it's in nice shape. That's a fun little memory there, you know, from the AVGN movie. Great times with that one. So, yeah, 3D baseball. And then next up we've got Blackfire, which was a more recent pickup at Disc Replay. There, I think I got this one. I get this at the one in the mall or the one in the I'm not sure. Anyway, I got it at one of them. But anyways, yeah, it was in pretty nice condition, as you can see. Pretty good. I don't really have a lot to say about it. It was like a few bucks, and usually they charge like not much for Sega Saturn games. As you can see, the thing fell off there because it's not exactly in the best condition. The little bottom part is broke off there, but no big deal. Still cool to pick that up for just a few bucks. I think it was $7 or something like that. Nice to add something to the collection, you know. It could be a pretty fun game. Looks like there's a helicopter and stuff there. I haven't played it yet. I haven't played my Saturn in a while, but I'm gonna get back to it eventually here. So, especially now that I've gotten all these newer games. Now this one I have played, and this one I picked up at Disc Replay. The case was all beat up, but I just replaced it with one of my Sega CD cases or some shit like that. So, Braindead 13, actually a kind of uncommon Saturn game. There's not really usually many on eBay, at least at the time there wasn't, but it was $13 for this game, and it's actually, it's a pretty decent sort of Dragon's Lair style FMV sort of thing there. What's it advertising? Let's see. Time Warp. Dragon Lairs 2. Wait, is coming soon. Sega Saturn. I don't know if that ever got released, actually. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, you can see it there. It's pretty cool. It's actually a pretty decent game. It's fun. It's a little infuriating, like those games generally are, but yeah, Braindead 13, pretty good underrated game, and it was $13, so not bad. Pretty fun game. I would recommend it if you can find it for cheap, for sure. And then next game we've got is Bug 2. This is actually a more recent pickup from Disc Replay. A few of these other games came from that same thing. I picked up like 3 games all at once. This was like $3 or something. Like for a Sega Saturn game, like $3. Of course I'm gonna buy it. It's a fucking Sega Saturn game, you know. Sonic 3D Blast there. Yeah, I've got that one too. Yeah, Bug 2. I don't have the original Bug. I'm still looking out for that one. A lot of people are saying that this game's not great and the first one's not great or whatever, but I want to give them a try because from what I hear, they kind of had this Tomba thing going on where you kind of, it's sort of 2D, 3D, you know, 2.5D as they call it. So really looking forward to giving that a shot. You know, a lot of people panned Tomba back in the day. It's my favorite game, so I mean, Bug 2, I'll play it, you know, it'll be great. A lot of fun. Glad to have that one off the list. Not a uncommon game or anything. It's just, you know, well, all Saturn stuff's kind of uncommon, but you know, pretty cheap game, but you know, whatever. This one, actually, that same AVGN trip, we were coming home. This was some other store. I don't remember what it was. It was like some used store or something, but it was a pretty good place. I mean, they didn't have like everything or whatever, but you know, it was kind of hit and miss, but that's fine. I actually picked up Clockwork Night there for $15, which is, I thought it was a good deal at the time. I definitely would probably think that's a good deal now, because if you get any Saturn game for $15 in pretty good shape, then definitely I would recommend doing it. Oh, I got the little foam insert in there. Yeah, Clockwork Night, and got Bug advertised there, which yeah, looking at it, it looks pretty cool. So no, but Clockwork Night, it's kind of like I think like Toy Story. That's like the concept. Like their toys come to life and they're trying to save this like princess or whatever. It's like a 2D side-scrolling sort of deal, and it's actually a bit of fun. I actually kind of like this one. Not for everyone, but if you like side-scrolling games, it's a lot of fun. It's very colorful and atmospheric, and it's just neat. I don't know. Pretty good game. Pretty good side-scroller there. You know, Clockwork Night for sure. Really enjoy that one. Okay, now this one is awesome. This is D for Sega Saturn. Like this is the best version, I would say, of this game. I don't know. I haven't played the 3DO version, but apparently the PlayStation version is like censored or like cut down or something. I've watched footage. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, apparently so maybe the 3DO version had like a few like little extra things, like very, very minor things, but because I have seen footage of that one. But yeah, this is a great game. Obviously, I figured out about it from HVGN, who's now Stop Skeletons Fighting, but really, really good game. It's kind of, I don't want to call it like Resident Evil-esque, but it's kind of in that style. You're on a fixed path though, and it's kind of more like, almost like FMV, but like you're playing the FMV. It's really hard to describe, but it's like kind of like a adventure game. You kind of have like a few areas, and then you have to like find items and that kind of thing. And the whole gimmick is if you don't beat it in less than 2 hours, the game's over. You lose. So time's always ticking, and it's a lot of puzzles and whatnot. But it's a very unique game. I mentioned in my other video about Warp. I didn't mention Warp, but I mentioned Kenji Eno. He's the guy who made this. Who made Panic Restaurant and everything, but yeah, really, really excellent game, and I've played it a few times for sure. So it's really, really great. I think I picked this one up online because I really just wanted to play it like a lot. I think I spent like maybe $20-$30 on it. And, yeah, really cool though. Great game. Very, very good. Kind of scary a little bit. You know, it's atmospheric for sure. That's the word I would use, is atmospheric. But then we have Cyber Speedway, which was apparently out of order because D and then Cyber Speedway. I don't know. Anyway, Cyber Speedway. This is one of my more recent pickups. This is like $6 or something like that. And yeah, apparently it's like a racing game. I haven't really had time to play it. Like sort of like Alpha Omega Sin described it as Wipeout. Like a Sega Saturn's answer to Wipeout or whatnot. So yeah, it's a really good shape, and I'm looking forward to playing this one. It's also 2 players, so that's cool. You know, I play with a friend or something. You know, so yep, that's Cyber Speedway. Then we have Daytona USA. This is like it's like not like a special edition, but this is like the fixed edition when they like. Because when they released the Sega Saturn initially, it was like, hey, it's on store shelves now, like during E3 or something. It was like the biggest, weirdest thing. So they rushed out all these ports of some games, and then this was one of them. I think this was the fixed edition, but I got this for like, I think it was literally $3. And I looked online at the time, and this game was going for like $20 or something, which is awesome. Like, you know, that's a great deal for sure. Can't say I've played it much. I hear it's really good, but I'm not really into the sports or the racing games unless I have like a friend going with me. But yeah, a pretty decent game from what I hear. Pretty good, and you know, cool. Daytona. So then we have Die Hard, not the arcade version, but the Die Hard Trilogy version. So that's pretty cool. Have Die Hard Trilogy. It's like a light gun sort of game. It actually has three games. Not like 3 games, but it has bits from each of the first 3 movies, which is cool. I've only ever seen the first one, which is good. It's a really good movie, but it's really funny. But yeah, apparently it's a pretty good game. I haven't played it yet, but you can apparently use the light guns, kind of like a on-rails shooter sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. Not too shabby there. Die Hard, and I think I got this at Disc Replay too for a few bucks. So Probably less than 10 at any rate, but I don't remember exactly how much it was, but yeah, that one I did pick up in person. This one, Dragonheart, my friend, this was added at the disc replay, but my friend picked this up for me, my friend Nick, when he still lived here, and yeah, this was it's pretty cool game. I don't know what kind of game it is, but it looks pretty cool. It looks like a side scroller actually. Let's see if you can see that there. Anyway, looks like some kind of side scroller like thing. The cover is really neat though with the dragon and everything. So I don't think it was too terribly much. It might have been. I don't remember how much it was, but it was less than any Sega Saturn game goes for now, for sure. They're all like in the $30 range now, so that's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, got Dragonheart there. Cool game to have for the collection. And then, yeah, Duke Nukem. I'll rip your head off and shit down your neck or whatever. Duke fucking Nukem. You know, you can't beat that. That's actually one I saw at the People Play Games. We went to see the AVGN movie, and I was thinking about picking it up, but yeah. So Duke Nukem, pretty awesome. Duke Nukem 3D. Of course, I'm sure you've heard of Duke Nukem. I mean, he's the man back in the day. I mean, of course, now he has Duke Nukem Forever. So, wow, it actually comes lots of little stuffy. Ooh, I don't know. Let's see what it's advertising here. Ooh, Netlink. Cool. Look at that Netlink. And then it's oh yeah. So the advertisement is like the Netlink playable games, which is cool. Here's the disc. Yeah, Duke Nukem. You know, it's fucking awesome. It's a first-person shooter. You know, he's got all the one-liners. I'll rip off your head and shoot down your neck and balls of steel and all that shit. You know, Duke Nukem. Grew up with this. You know, great game. Saturn port's pretty good for what it is, and yeah, pretty awesome for Duke Nukem. So. Yeah, pretty cool game. Pretty cool. But yeah, I guess what's notable about it is back in the day you could use the Netlink to go online and actually shoot people, but I was too young at the time and I didn't have a Saturn back in the day, so never did that. But yeah, so Enemy Zero. This is the sequel or prequel to D. Or just like a spiritual like successor, I guess. It's in the D franchise. Kenji Eno made it, or whatever, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's more of a. In the other one, you were like in a mansion. This one, you're kind of on a spaceship, and there's like these invisible enemies, and there's like you have to like listen for them with this chime system, and it just looks insane and like actually really tense and horrifying. But haven't gotten very far into it. Because it is kind of confusing, and it's a lot more open and big than D. And in D, you were just kind of in separate little rooms, and you could kind of figure out what you had to do, and even that was tricky sometimes. But this is actually a lot trickier, so I just need to put some time into it, you know, check a FAQ or something maybe to get through it. But yeah, still fun game, supposed to be pretty awesome, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it at some point. This one I did get online. In hindsight, I probably should have... My choice was between this and Guardian Heroes, and I probably should have gotten Guardian Heroes, but... I don't know. I don't regret it. I think D was probably... D. Enemy Zero was a good choice as well, because I really wanted to get it because the HVGN, again, you know... So yeah, Enemy Zero, there. Let's see. F1 Challenge, which is a... racing game or whatnot, and haven't played it. It was like $2, and you can see the cases kind of shit there, but yeah, I don't know. I think I actually got this one as a replacement case for something else. Might have been one of the ones we'll talk about in a minute here, but I think I replaced that one with a Sega CE game actually. But F10 or F01. F1 Challenge, I don't know. It was like $2, so I got it. So cool. Gen War. This one was, I think, maybe at Video Games Etc. and not actually at Disc Replay, which is kind of rare because if usually they'll charge out the ass for something like this. But I think this was like $6 or something, so I picked it up. It's kind of weird. It's like a first-person, yeah, another one of these broken case deals. It's kind of like a first-person shooter sort of deal, and you're like, it's almost like a mech. You're almost like a mech or something. You know, it's an okay game. The controls are all right. It's okay. Yeah, get more loops. All right. Hexen. Now this is actually another first-person shooter. This is made by id Software. It's like Doom, but in like a fantasy setting rather than like a space, like a sci-fi setting. This is like more of a fantasy sort of thing. Pretty decent game. The Saturn port is maybe not the best one, but it's all right. It works for what it is. It is an old school shooter, so you just kind of have to know what you're going to get into there. Kind of clunky with the control system and whatnot, but probably not as bad as the N64 version, which I hear is even clunkier. So, yeah, Hexen, not bad. I've put it in a few levels into it, and pretty decent, pretty decent stuff there. So, yeah, Hexen. Now this one is awesome. House of the Dead on Sega Saturn. House of the Dead. Now this is a really rare game. You would think, why is House of the Dead a rare game? I don't know either. It was a late release or whatnot. And the funny thing about this game, though, this is the only release of this game. Like, outside of, like, PC and stuff, this is, like, the only physical release. Because, obviously, they were going to put it on PlayStation or, like, 3DO or something. This is it. Right here. This is, if you want to play the original House of the Dead, this is the way to do it. And it's weird because apparently the reason they haven't, like, re-released House of the Dead, like, digitally and all that, is because Sega lost, like, the source code or whatever. It's like kind of like Panzer Dragoon. That's why they haven't re-released that game. And it's really weird. But yeah, House of the Dead, you would think that wouldn't be so hard to get. But no, I got it. You can see the case here is actually in pretty decent shape. But I got it because the case was beat up a lot. And I switched out one of my Sega CD games with it. I don't remember which one. Just a shitty Sega CD game that I probably sold back anyway. Because I don't really even have any Sega CD games anymore, because I never had a Sega CD to begin with. I was just kind of buying ahead. But anyway, this haunted me for weeks and weeks, and probably months even. And it was just sitting there in this case at my disc replay. It was $100, $110 I think. And for this game, that's a really good deal. That's a really good deal. But no, this is a really good deal. And I was sitting there, and at the time, I really didn't have a lot of money to be throwing around. I don't know what it was or like why not, but didn't have like that great of a job and all this, and I just sat there, and every time I would go in, I would stare at it. I tried just buying it different ways, and it wasn't working out. My credit card had this weird problem at the time. Anyway, thing is, every time I would go back, this thing would still be there, just sitting there. I'd be like, oh my god, it's still there. I just want it so badly. I just want to get it and play it and everything. And it'd just still be sitting there. It was just sitting there for weeks and weeks. You would think somebody would have bought it. Like every time there's Saturn games, somebody buys them or something. No, it just sat there. They just sat there. And then eventually, I was really getting pissed off because I don't know why I didn't have the money, but I was really getting pissed off. And my friend Mab was like, hey, you know what, I'll buy it for you, and then you can just pay me back. And what a guy to do that for me. And I did pay him back, obviously. And I actually ended up getting it a little bit cheaper because if you buy like $20 worth of games, you get like a stamp on this card. And then once you get like 12 stamps or something, you get like this 20% off or whatever. So we used that on this. And yeah, so it's just awesome. That I have this, House of the Dead on Sega Saturn. So it actually has a little foam thingy there. I probably took this from a different one to put it in here because, because this, because this is a rare game and I wouldn't want it to fall out or be beaten up or anything. Actually, it's funny that they're advertising their Burning Rangers and Panzer Dragoon Saga, two other like really sought after Saturn games, which is funny. But I'm really just really glad, really happy to have this. It's in nice condition other than the case, which was like super beat up, and that's why I think a lot of people thought, oh, that's a shitty like version, or not a version, but like that's like a shitty. It's in shitty condition basically, but no. You just gotta switch out the case and look how good it looked. It used to look like it looked like it was like a layer of like mud on there or something. But no, I just switched out the case and we were good to go. And that's how you do it, The inserts aren't in the greatest condition, but they're not in bad condition. They're in pretty good condition. This is for $110. It's a great steal, So that's one of my better finds for sure. House of the Dead, really good. Really want to play it, but I didn't get that second light gun until just more recently, so spoiler for the pickup video, sorry about that. But yeah, so House of the Dead, there we go. Awesome game. Lost World Jurassic Park, as you can see, this isn't the original thing, but I just went with it anyway because it's like $5, so yeah, I picked this up at Disc Replay at the same time that I picked up a few of those other games. Which one was it? Well, anyway, so yeah, picked this up. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be a port of one of my favorite PC games, which is the Jurassic Park like RTS game, but no, it's a side-scroller thing. It almost, yeah, it looks like a Contra sort of side-scroller, like the Genesis version and all that. Like, this kind of sucks, that that it wasn't the RTS game. They never ported that to anything. That game was so fucking awesome. I don't understand why they didn't. It wouldn't have taken a lot. They could have put it on PS1. They put Warcraft on PS1 and stuff. But this is another game for the collection. Probably not great, but the movie's not great either. So, but the game on PC, Jurassic Park: The Lost World, check it out. It's awesome. So. Yeah, that game kicks ass, but not that one. I don't know about that one. Maybe that game kicks ass too, but MechWarrior 2, picked this up at Disc Replay, $12 or something like that, and the case is in really nice condition, other than a little bit of beating up back there, but yeah, I don't know, it's like a mech game, like a first-person shooter sort of deal. Oh, apparently there's like a little insert there and stuff, like, yeah, MechWarrior 2, I don't know. It looks good. It looks like it could be a pretty good game. It looks like a first-person shooter sort of thing. There's a lot of those on Saturn for some reason. But yeah, MechWarrior, another game for the collection. And then there is Myst, which also I picked up a guide for.